Okay, so I got quite a good one today, nice and windy, but yeah, we have an issue with the manifold just leaking. This issue is a problem on a lot of Yarises with the 1SZ and the 2Z, SZ, I can't do words right now. Yeah, so I've actually already, this is Cube's manifold by the way, I've already actually replaced Cube's manifold. And this was the replacement. I went and bought an aftermarket one, and it was like a big block thing. And I was just like, I'm not having that. That looks daft, and I kind of like to show people inside my engine bays. So my only other option was to buy another OEM Toyota one, which I can't remember how much I paid for this, but I got pretty lucky that I actually even found one. But yeah, no, unfortunately, this one started doing it as well. It started leaking. You could hear it when you drive. It goes. Yeah, so what the solution is now these days is that some handy dandy person on eBay owns a laser cutter. He owns a laser cutter, so he cuts a 5mm bit of plate, and yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking off the manifold and then cutting it off, probably at those welds right there, and then welding this on. As you can see from this, it is just 5 bolts, 2 bolts on the bottom, and also you might want to unplug your O2 sensors, which are right here, and that basically gets the manifold off. And a tip and trick, you can actually get that one there by a ratchet by having extensions on, like a 1/4 inch all the way to here, but if you're struggling, you can get a 13mm spanner or whatever it is again in there to get them cracked off. But yeah, taking off as much of the engine cover as possible as well. Anything that's in the way, just take it out of the way. Honestly, you don't want to be snapping one of these studs in the block. That's a big headache. So here's the original manifold, well, the one that I put on, and you can see why I'm changing it. There's bits like here that are, you can see through it. There's bits here where it's quite clearly not sealing up properly, and it's just going. So yeah, these are made out of very, very thin. Well, it's about 2mm thick, whereas that plate I've got is 5. So yeah, and they always seem to kind of break off in bits like this and through here, which it isn't very good for the clamping force of everything. But yeah, so I'm just gonna clean it all up. I cut it off, sorry. Hopefully keep these inner ring bits in here, because that will be quite nice if I can mate them up to the new plate. But yeah. Alright, so I tested it on the car, and these holes are just too small. Just too small. So I'm going to have to open them up. I'm going to open them up about hopefully 1mm in diameter. I only have a file. This would be great if I had a proper Dremel. Plus my caliper is a bit... Oh, there's a knife. Plus my caliper is a bit broky. The brake doesn't work, not even a battery in it, so I've just kind of tried to scribe on a little kind of distance. You can't really see that, but yeah, just try and scrape on something so as I know I'm not taking too much material off and have a rough idea of where I was. So yeah, gonna try file out 1mm out of that. Probably gonna do it a bit more top centric, because it was sitting pretty flush on the bottom and the top was out about 1mm, so yeah. So this is going to be very fun, probably a couple hours of just sitting with a vial, but I guess I could be lapping valves. Don't worry folks, I've got a B-Tech in engineering as well, don't worry. It's taking me back to my bench fitting days. Didn't really want to relive them, but yeah, I'm there anyways. Wow, that camera quality looks really good. So everything's been ported, had a quick test fit, cleaned up the face on the block, and yeah, that is far stinkingly better already. And that's without a gasket in between as well, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go cut up the other one. Alright, that was an absolute pig of a job to do, and yeah, definitely not the nicest of cuts either, not the straightest or flattest, but let's see how she pairs. Back side of the engine. Yeah, I knew from the get-go that that wasn't going to be the best of cuts, but I can certainly flatten everything up a bit. And I mean, I got a welder for a reason. Alright, cool. I'm going to continue on, clean that up anyways, get this ready for welding. Yeah, fingers crossed. Do you look at them welds? Wow, that is oh. Ah. Alright, okay. Not the prettiest of welds. You can see porosity in some bits. But I have excuses anyways. That is not an easy thing to weld, especially on the floor. I ran out of my gas wire, so I had to switch over to gasless wire, which actually welded pretty well, to be fair. Just had a quick look at it down there, which will be pretty hard for you to see, but it looks like these lugs here are on both sides are bent out a little bit. You might be able to see that if you've got the eye. But yeah, no, the ports are not too bad. I think we're going to take a little file to them and just see like that one there. It just needs a little bit extra taken off it. So might as well just make it really nice. Can't hurt to flow that much, can I? Yeah, there we go. How about that? It's welded together. It seems like it's all tight. Obviously you don't really know till you put it on the car, but I'm just hoping it leaks less. Ideally you would go out and get this like flattened, either with like a mill or some kind of belt sander, but I don't have access to anything like that, so yeah, no, so I'm just gonna have to hope to hell that it isn't too badly warped. There's no signs of heat came through here on the backs, there's just where my marker pen's been. So that's a good sign. Does it mean it's penetrated well? Well, you'd kind of hope something penetrated around there, but yeah, no. It's on. It's on. That's all it needs to be. Next thing it needs to be is gas tight, but yeah, I'm gonna file off those a wee bit. And yeah, see what damage we can do. Okay, so 5 months down the line, and yeah, the manifold is still looking just as good as it did when I finished welding it. The welds haven't rusted, which is quite nice, and the exhaust system is very, very quiet, which is brilliant. It's what I was wanting. A couple of things I would change if I was to do it again would be to get a thicker plate of metal instead of 5mm, maybe like 10 or something like that, just so as I could run it through a milling machine or a belt sander, but I don't have access to any of those, so yep. And also I would create a jig to where I could actually like bolt down the thing whilst I'm welding it, because that would reduce also the warpage from the heat. But no, all in all, this was a scary job that wasn't actually that scary, and yeah, if you are thinking about doing it and you're handy with a welder and a grinder, give it a go. If you enjoyed this video, then please like this video and then subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff.